everybody.
And there we
There we
are.
go.
That was our whole show right there.
Oh no, what is happening?
I don't know.
I know what's happening. Okay, fixed it.
Oh.
Almost.
Are
Okay,
you sure?
hold on. I think
Test?
so. Oh no. All right, you know what?
Test?
Hello, test. Oh, hold on.
Oh,
Where do you have it logged on somewhere? Live. Yep, that's
yeah.
what's happening.
There you go.
Okay. Sorry about that, guys. We had another tab open on our
Yes.
browser.
We got an echo.
That's what's happening.
Thank
Oh,
you
my
for
goodness.
everyone already joining us in the Sky Chat.
Woohoo!
We have got a
Wow.
big show. Whoa, look at everybody.
All right, and Rob Dellinger, can you do what you did again? Because we thought it was you. Okay. Welcome everybody. We already have comments. Everyone's watching us live. So exciting. Okay, perfect. Excellent. All right. So now we have my dad and mom are watching.
All right, but you know what? Let's start rolling and then we can bring in the comments. How's
okay, that sounds good. All right, because we are recording. We're so excited about this, you guys, and we're so happy that you are all tuning in this afternoon for our live stream.
Yes.
All right.
And don't worry, we will get you out of here in time for Ahsoka.
And that's another thing we're doing. All right.
All right. And if you got comments, please put them in the Sky Chat. We'll get to as many as we can. Thank you to everyone who had sent in messages. Much, much appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have the link. So if anyone wants to pop on just to say hello, we can bring you on.
Okay.
All righty.
All right. Perfect. So here we go. All
right, everyone. Here we are. I'm getting distracted by the Sky Chat.
All the comments, yes.
All right, here we go. Hey, Skywalkers, and welcome to our big 10th anniversary Bonanza episode.
Yes, we want to thank you so much for joining us. We want to thank everyone in the Sky Chat who are here, and we can see your comments, and we're going to be sharing your comments on the show.
My sister says, hey.
Yeah.
Big congrats.
Yeah, and as a reminder, we are recording this live on the Skywalking Through Neverland YouTube channel and our Facebook page, and we love it when you Skywalkers comment along.
All right, now we've got a big show for y'all. A big show. How big? About this big of a show. So please get comfy. Go grab a drink, something to eat, because this is going to take you into like tomorrow. Now, I am Richard Woloski, but now everyone, please say hello to my sweetie wife. I almost said of 10 years. Oh, that's not right. No, she's my sweetie wife who's been the co-host for 10 years, but my sweetie wife going on 14 years. Woo. As of next month.
Yes.
We'll get into that later on. So here she is, my 10-year-old sweetie wife.
That even sounds worse.
Oh my goodness. See, that's why we should have rehearsals.
All right. Well, Skywalkers, we are your enthusiastic podcast destination for the many decades of your Star Wars, Disney, and Marvel fandom for 10 years now. So imagine a big Wookiee hug and your weekly sprinkle of pixie dust. That is very important for our family of Skywalkers.
Now, we are being sponsored by Small World Vacations, and they are a diamond-level Disney vacation planner travel agency and can help you book your trip to a Disney park around the world. And best of all, this service is free to all you Skywalkers. So head over there to smallworldvacations.com for a no-obligation price quote and tell them Skywalking Through Neverland sent you, and tell them that you're a Skywalker and you have been for 10 years.
Yeah.
All right, now we are recording this from Long Beach, California on September the 26th, the official date that the first episode ever aired of Skywalking Through Neverland back in 2013.
Wow.
And now we're in 2023. Hold on, that math works out.
All right, now before we get into the show, we want to send a huge thank you and shout out to the Skywalking Force. You guys are our Patreon. You guys have been supporting us. And as a reminder, we are having a special Skywalking Force Zoom after party, and that's going to be tomorrow night at 6:30 p.m. Pacific. So we cannot wait for that. Head to skywalkingforce.com for the link. And now we do want to say thank you, though, to everyone who is watching and who comments and likes and just listens to our show. Like, we can't do it without you, which is why we're having this amazing live stream here. And let's bring on some comments here from the Sky Chat.
Lori Lazat says, happy anniversary. And Dan Barr said, I just went back and listened to the first episode.
Oh my gosh.
So what do you think, Dan? Have we grown as hosts? Let us know. Glenn Stein says, hello, Sarah.
Oh, hi, Glenn. Richard's here too.
Yeah, I'm not going to say hello back because you didn't say hello to me.
All right, Wynn says, here's to the next 10 years. Congratulations to you both. Amazing. We have Hey from Chickafent.
Hey. Now, coming up in this supersized episode, we're going to play clips from the most downloaded Skywalking Through Neverland episodes within the first 7 days of release, which gives the latest episode a chance to be included. Because if we just did the most downloaded episodes, well, of course, back in 2013 would be probably the most downloaded episodes because it had 10 years of downloads. Now, once again, I'm so happy that everyone is here. I'm so happy that you guys have kept us going for 10 years. As you know, this podcasting is not easy. A lot of podcasts do fade in the first 10 episodes, but we said nope because of Skywalkers like you that commented and met us at meetups. We just had to keep going, and you got us out of that little rough patch after the first 10 episodes, would you say?
Yeah, like the first 7 to 10 episodes I think is when most podcasts pod fade. But yes, we made it well past that.
Yes. All right, you know what? Let's bring on our first guest. What do you say?
Sounds good.
All right, here he is. You know him as the John Williams of podcasting. It is Mr. Rob Dellinger. Hey, Rob.
Hey, how's it going?
It is going great. It's fantastic. So glad that you're here because you joined the Skywalking family a couple of episodes in?
Like the first
pretty
year?
early on. Sorry.
Yeah. No problem.
Pretty early on.
Do you recall the first jingles you had written?
Ooh, that's a good question. One of the first ones was the short where I just sing Skywalking Through Neverland in a thick harmony. I remember that.
Yeah, I think that was your first one that you had sent over, and I was like, oh wow.
I think that was too, because you said, hey, we'd have this Rob Dellinger on the show. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Anyone who wants to be on the show, come on in.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of good memories. I remember when you had me on the live Skywalking Through Neverland broadcast from the Star Wars celebration. That was fun.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was Celebration 2015. Is that when that was?
Something like that. Yeah, it was pre-COVID. I know that. Yeah.
Yeah. And then since we loved your Skywalking promo so much, we said, hey, we're going to begin a lot of segments. Here's 35 ideas. Can you write jingles for every one of these segments?
Mm-hmm.
And you did.
And we released the only album that I know of that was consisting of original podcast jingles.
Yeah, I think, yeah, you're right. And we are the only podcast that I know of that has a record album. So when will that be released on vinyl, Rob?
I know. I tried to submit it for Grammy consideration, and they said they didn't accept it. And the reason was they said there is no category for that or something like that. So anyway, maybe things have changed since then, but I wasn't able to submit it.
Podcasting is so big right now. You would think now because of you. Hey, this Rob Dellinger guy gave us an idea. Let's not give him any credit though.
Story of my life.
So what is your favorite jingle you've ever written?
Ooh, well, some of them are original and some of them are obviously based on existing Star Wars themes. And man, I didn't think about that. But what is the one I do? One of them where I end with the sort of Star Wars title sequence that kicks off the end of the Star Wars movies. Dun, 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 dun. Which one is that? Where I end with that. Anyway, I'm gonna have to think about this and get back to you. Actually, if I look up the album, I could find it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking that was for classic Marvel Star Wars comics.
Oh, that was a good one. That one was funky.
That was very,
fun,
very good.
because I got to do sort of like a funky. And you know what? I liked. Didn't I do one for? Oh, it was for Mark, the Salacious Crumb.
Well, you did a lot of Skywalkers of the Weeks.
Oh, those. Yeah, that was really fun. And actually, I wanted to release an album of that too. And they're all about 10 seconds long.
Yeah, I think that's what you did. You also did like little jingles for our guests, and you did one for Mark Dodson.
In fact,
that's the one, Mark Dodson. Yes, I did one for Mark Dodson that I really had fun with. Yeah, because I think I based it on the Jabba's Palace song.
Yeah, Lapti Neck.
Yes.
And you did one for Dave Collins, and he just loved that.
That's right. Yeah. And
that was so great.
Chickafant wants to know, great to see and hear Mr. Dellinger. Thanks for all you've done to support the Skywalkers and Skynet.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I've missed you guys because I haven't been as active with the podcast the last few years, but I make sure to check in once in a while. And I am, connected with people on social media. So I do see your posts and everything, and it's nice to be connected.
Yeah. Absolutely. Then you got really, really busy. Like,
yeah.
Okay. And then we thought, okay, if you can't do Skywalkers of the week, can you do Skywalkers of the month? And then all of our schedules got a little too busy.
Yeah. But we do have a bazillion Skywalkers of the week, and I should maybe just upload them somewhere so people can listen to them, because it's kind of amazing if you sit back. I think we have, at least a couple hundred probably, right?
Oh, sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
One a week for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Raise your hand in the Sky Chat if you have a jingle by Rob Dellinger.
Now, my favorite of your jingles was the Kenner jingle you did, because we ended the discussion with Jim Swearingen, who was a Kenner designer. I thought, let's have some Kenner music behind him, but there was no Kenner music on YouTube, anywhere. I thought, wait a minute, why am I doing this? I'll reach out to Rob. Rob can replicate this.
That's right.
Very militaristic marching little ditty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is like a labor of love when someone says to you, do you think you could listen to an old Kenner toy commercial and try to recreate the background music? I'm going, yes.
That was the soundtrack to my childhood, that Kenner theme.
Yeah, I need to go back and revisit all of these because there's so many. And then some were totally original things we'd like to share. I think I know what my favorite one is. Skywalker Stories.
Yeah.
Skywalker Stories. I like that one.
The Skywalkers would send in fun stories about their fandom. Sarah, what's your favorite?
Honestly, I'm trying to. I really like that original, like the 4-part harmony of that Skywalking Through Neverland. Just that the very first jingle you did is just very catchy. I've always loved barbershop quartets, and that's what it kind of reminded me of. So I really love that one.
Oh, what does the Porg say? That was a good one.
Yeah, we made that into a whole YouTube video.
Yeah, but a lot of people were very upset that it was just 30 seconds. Like, we want to hear more.
Wasn't there one that we did that was based on we didn't start the fire, or am I imagining that? What one was that? I can't remember. Maybe not. No, we did.
Girls.
Not fangirl.
That was for a different podcast.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you've gone way beyond Skywalking Through Neverland. You did Talking Apes. You did a great theme song for the Neverland Clubhouse.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
The Parent Trap song.
Yeah, I really like
awesome.
That one.
Hey, Joey Pittman in the Sky Chat says, "Love my jingle. Thanks, Rob."
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, sometimes people come up to me like it's so funny, if I go to Disneyland, I'm definitely, which is a great place to be if you're going to be a celebrity. Between playing there with my old band, my new band, and all the Skywalking Through Neverland people, usually when I go to Disneyland, at least one person comes up to me And sometimes it's somebody who was a Skywalker of the week, which is cool. Oh, because we had the sweatshirts too that you guys made,
That's
which was
right.
awesome to have my name on a sweatshirt. And so I think I haven't been going to Disneyland as much lately. And I don't live out in Southern California. The last time I was there, I was literally walking through the turnstiles, and I half jokingly said to my family, "Watch, somebody's going to say." We went right there, and somebody wanted to, say hi that was working there.
Oh,
And then another time I was there and somebody came up to me and started singing me their jingle, so that was cool.
oh,
And one time I was sitting at Goofy's kitchen, and all of a sudden I'm with my family, and Pluto comes over and starts pointing at me and starts doing this like he's playing the trumpet. So there you go.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
we've had several characters come over to us, try to signal to us like they know us.
I'm sure you guys, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Wow.
you know what? We had asked you, as busy as you are, could you please write a little 10-year anniversary jingle in the vein of your original Skywalking jingle? So let's go ahead and play that. Everyone, this is the debut of Rob Dellinger's new Skywalking Through Neverland jingle.
Skywalking through Neverland, 10 years of magic.
Yay! It's that 4-part harmony. I love it.
I wanted to recreate sort of the original one, since like we were saying that was the first one to commemorate the 10th year. Yeah. But it's different. It's totally different. And what's funny is those harmonies on there are very kind of unnatural and intricate, because I write it. I'll give away some of the secret sauce, but I wrote those two I wrote on the piano, and I did chords, and I made them a little bit different than what you might normally do if you're singing. So, and then I sing each part one at a time and double it. And what's weird is when I listen back to it, it sounds completely normal, completely. But when I was singing it, it just sounds so awkward. And I realized, a lot of John Williams music is like that too. You think it's so normal, you sing it, but then when you really try to play the intervals, there's a lot of interesting things going on there, that are almost, they just kind of go against what you would naturally sing, but they sound natural. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
You know what? Before we say goodbye, let's read a couple of these comments reaching out to Rob. Jeremy Stevenson said, "That sounded great." And Shamim Dana said, Skywalking through Neverland. Well done, Rob Dellinger. And then Courtney Turkel says, "We love our theme song for Neverland Clubhouse."
Yeah. And
Awesome.
yeah, Norma, my mom, says, "Oh, I love it. The Rob Dellinger new jingle."
Yes.
Awesome.
Gotta have
Rob,
mom's approval. Yeah.
thanks so much for coming on and for 10 years of all of your jingles. Can't wait to see you again in person.
Yes.
So tell everyone where you're going to be next with the Alpha Rhythm Kings.
Well, if we have anybody that's out in the Bay Area, I'm doing a lot of stuff in the Bay Area. And actually, I'm going to be on Tuesday, I'm in Florida. So if anybody's St. Pete, I'm doing a swing dance out there, some private gigs, and then a swing dance. So if we have any dancers out there in the St. Pete, Tampa area, this coming Tuesday, which is, I think, October 3rd, I think. Anyway, I'll be there. And then I'm going to be in San Francisco at Mr. Tipple's Jazz Club on October 13th. And then I'm going to be in Tucson, Arizona at Mr. Bing's Supper Club on October 22nd. So maybe one of those would work out. Yeah.
Wow. And is that all at alpharhythmkings.com or on your Instagram?
Yes. There's a lot of H's in Dellinger, Alpha, and Rhythm, but it's alpharhythmkings.com, or we're on all the social media. We even have a TikTok. I don't know what I'm doing on TikTok, but we have Instagram and Facebook. Yeah, too.
And what Rob loves is when you go to see him and you yell out your different favorite jingles. Things we want to share.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Kenner song.
Exactly.
Story. All right. Thanks so much for coming on there, Rob.
Thank you guys so much.
Hope to see you in the future.
All right.
See you soon.
Have a good one.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Now let's read this one here by Chickafent.
Okay.
This comment. Right here.
All right.
All right, give us 1 second. If I remember correctly, there was a bonus track on the album where Skywalker sang their favorite jingles.
Yay.
Oh yeah.
Amazing.
Awesome.
That bonus track.
Mm-hmm.
And that album is still available. So Skywalking Through Neverland, look it up on like iTunes, any streaming service, you can purchase it.
Mm-hmm. All right, now let's go way back 10 years ago today to episode 1 and let's listen to the beginning of the show and see if we've improved, everybody. Weigh in.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Listen.
A billion years in the making.
Off to Neverland.
What do you know?
You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll kiss $3 goodbye.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Skywalking Through Neverland, a podcast for active Disney and Star Wars fans. This is Richard.
And this is Sarah. Skywalking Through Neverland celebrates Star Wars and Disney fandom. And from time to time, we'll also be talking about excitement surrounding superheroes, Harry Potter, and other franchises with exciting things going on.
We're going to focus on conventions, the Star Wars celebrations, the D23 Disney, and maybe from time to time Comic-Con if we can get in. We're going to celebrate cosplaying, fan films, Star Wars Disney collectors, anything that really focuses on the active fan and their fandom. We are a platform to show off you and your fandomness.
And that's a new word, isn't it?
Yeah, you'll be hearing that one a lot on this podcast. We'll be reporting a lot about what's going on out there at Disneyland and Disney California Adventure, new merchandise, the special events, ride openings, and annual pass holder info.
On our first show, we'll be telling you about Halloween time at Disneyland, which actually started Friday the 13th of September, and it goes until October 31st.
All right,
Wow.
So did we get any better than that?
According to Amanda Bond, yes, we did. You are always wonderful, but you just get better.
Happy 10 years and to many more. We started with these Radio Shack microphones that I've had since the 80s. And we thought, okay, this is what we have. Let's record on these. And we used those for a couple of years.
Yeah, that's true. And then we got some new ones. And then just recently we purchased these. Yeah, but wow.
Okay, now how close did we stick to that format? We're really going to focus on the fandom and cover Harry Potter and superheroes.
I mean, very close. We don't cover Harry Potter as much, but definitely the superheroes. We got into Marvel now.
Yeah, so I think we had a very clear concept going in, and we stuck with it because that's what worked. And I went back to I went through every single episode, and we really did focus on the fan community because this was a time when other podcasts were just starting to spring up. Everyone was doing a podcast, and we really focused on the fans, the fan films, the cosplayers. We went to conventions, did a lot of interviews there.
I think our third or fifth episode was like cosplay versus consent.
Yeah.
Like that whole conversation that was happening about Comic-Cons and like, can you touch cosplayers when you take pictures, stuff like that. Yeah, it was really interesting.
Yeah, so I think, we really stuck to that format. Now, going a little bit beyond, before that, why did we start Skywalking Through Neverland?
Well,
what led up to that time when we said, okay, let's do it?
I mean, from what I remember, we were going to all sorts of events and things, and we'd post pictures and things on, social media, and people would be like, what's the story behind this? Or, we'd just be doing fun things. And then plus, we both had Star Wars fandom and Disney fandom, but we each kind of had our own perspectives on them because we're so different in age groups.
Well, I love the fact that you came from the dark ages.
Right.
That's when all the books came out, and I didn't really read a lot of the books.
Right.
And you did. So it's like, okay, this is going to work out perfectly.
And then I was the right age for all the Disney Renaissance films that came out in the 89 through the 90s. I was like the perfect age. So I got to kind of fill you in on that era.
Yeah, we didn't want to stick with just one thing because I was more Star Wars, you were more Disney. And we thought, okay, since Disney just bought Star Wars, this is a perfect time to combine both of these empires into one podcast.
Yeah.
Now, all right, now, do you remember some of the names? Do you recall some of the names we came up with?
Oh my God. Okay. You know what? We had like a whole spreadsheet of names thrown out there. I think I had like teacups. Like we would come up with Disney stuff and we'd come up with Star Wars stuff and we try to combine them.
Yeah, I think the Forerunner was like capes and lightsabers and wands.
Castles, capes, and clones.
Oh, how do you remember that?
I just remember that because some of these we used as segment titles
Right.
instead of names of the podcast. And there was one, Tiki Cantina. Tiki Cantina was a big runner-up.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
there were too many other Cantina podcasts.
And it would be like too focused, like Tiki Room, like just very focused on like Tiki culture perhaps. So I'm kind of glad we didn't go that way.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And
Tiki
then
Cantina was one.
I remembered this book,
Oh.
Skywalking, The Life and Films of George Lucas. And skywalking is a good verb.
Yes. And then Tinkerbell is always my favorite. So Neverland was one of the things that came up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so then we just put it together.
Skywalking Through Neverland.
Yes.
And when we both said it, it's like, that's the one.
Mm-hmm.
That is the one right then, right there. We got to do this.
Yeah.
Now, I remember really the impetus for Skywalking Through Neverland, the origins of taking a story and really broadening it out was when we went to Vegas and we did some of those Star Wars slot machines. Not so much slot machines, but the big, what do you call them? Gambling machines.
Aren't they slot machines?
I guess so.
That's
slot machines, yes. Mm-hmm. All right. So the big Star Wars slot machines, and we would post pictures on Facebook and people would say, hey, what else happened there? What are these machines? Can you tell us more about this? So we were typing into Facebook, and that's when we thought, you know what? This, instead of just having to type things in, let's do something more long form. And then we were invited onto other podcasts, and we thought, okay, this is it right here. Artificial intelligence was one of the first podcasts we ever did.
Oh yeah.
And we thought this is the medium of the future. No more of this having to write things in like a caveman into Facebook. Now we can actually tell stories. That's what we love to do, is tell stories. You have stories from your childhood. I got a ton of stories from my childhood.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And it just became what you heard right there. Now, I don't recall if we ever did like consecutive episodes. I think we did one episode, then like 2 weeks later, we finally put out another one, and 3 weeks.
No. Wait, what?
It was a while between some of the first episodes. Yeah.
No. We were doing them every
week.
Go
look back at the schedule.
Okay.
Because we also did the audio and video podcasts.
Yeah, that's true.
So not video like we're seeing right now.
We tried to do
put in
weekly.
Pictures.
We tried to do
if anything, maybe a week and a half or 2 weeks. But I remember 1 week was like 3 weeks between episodes. Like, okay, we don't want to fall into this 3 week, 4 week rut. We got to really pump it up and do a weekly episode.
Mm-hmm. And then I remember we started growing a lot when we attended conventions as well. So.
Oh yeah, big time.
That was a big deal. Yeah.
All right, now our biggest disagreement we've ever had in the last 10 years was just last week when I wanted to run down the titles of all 433 episodes we've done.
You wanted to read them on this
all
episode.
Of the episode titles. That would be really fun. But Sarah won this round for this episode.
It's like 20 minutes.
But this is something we're going to do for the next episode. Yes, we are. I want to read all of these titles because reading them as I'm going through them leading up to this, there were so many fun memories.
Okay.
So we're going to do that. And it won't take no 20 minutes either.
It'll take 20 minutes.
No, it won't.
Yes, it will.
All right. Well, see, this is our second argument we've ever had.
Yeah, just
which
the
dovetails from the first one. So this is how bad it gets, people. All right, now let's roll in some of these messages we've gotten from the Skywalkers. We asked everyone, can you please send in a message, whatever you want to say about the 10 years of Skywalking Through Neverland. So let's kick things off with your mom and dad.
Okay, you got it.
Good morning. I'm Peter Heitman.
And I'm Norma Heitman.
And for those that don't know, we are Sarah's parents. And we want to take this time to congratulate both Richard and Sarah
For 10 wonderful years of their Skywalking Through Neverland podcast.
Great job. Love the production. Love the content. Love you guys.
Keep up the great work.
Oh, there you go.
Aw, thank you, Mom and Dad. That's so sweet.
Yeah.
And look at those shirts.
I know. They are in the hat. They are representing.
Yeah, that is awesome.
And it was those first, how many episodes did your dad have to stay up late at night
Yes.
just to equalize the audio and sweeten it up?
I think the first couple of months.
Yeah.
And that's why his name is in the credits as our engineer.
Right, yes.
Sound engineer, yes.
Yeah, because that's when we had those little Radio Shack mics.
Mm-hmm.
And we sounded terrible. I think your dad heard that first episode and said, "Oh, no. No, we gotta fix this."
Yeah.
So thank you, and we love you, love you, love you.
Yeah.
All right, the next one comes in from my sister Lisa.
Oh. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
So we'll have to edit that one in.
Yeah, we couldn't. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It's not working with our browser.
Okay. Well, we'll edit that one in for the big
Yes.
and release show.
Yeah, and Dad mentions the H4 Zoom recorder. Also, we got from him. Like he let us use it basically, or gave it to us. Yes, so thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and thanks so much to Lisa. Oh my gosh, how sweet!
Very, very sweet.
Oh,
Yeah, she's not really a tech savvy person, so having to listen to every episode takes a little bit more of a challenge. And she takes care of little kids, so getting time to listen to a podcast is very, very hard. But she's with us. She's updated. She knows everything that we're doing. All right, next, let's listen to our good friend and longtime Skywalker, Justin Smith.
Hey, Richard and Sarah, I'm calling in to congratulate you on 10 years of Skywalking Through Neverland. Wow, 10 years, what an amazing milestone. I'm very proud to have been a listener and friend of both of you guys and the show for 8 of those 10 years, for 4/5 of your run. Not bad at all, I would say. I actually still remember the first time that I met you guys. When I first met Sarah, I met her at Trader Sam's at a little meetup at Disneyland, and she actually gave me this midichlorian pixie dust. That was back when Sarah was, of course, doing her Jedi Tink cosplay right here. And, I was just, and, she also gave me a button and all that, but I was just so moved and touched and amused by this little gesture. I was like, okay, I have to follow these guys and their show. And that's how it all started back in 2015. And I've been a listener ever since, and it's been a very fun ride of meetups. I've won prizes. I've met you guys at cons, at Disneyland. I've met you guys at your house. We've thrown great parties, and I consider you two of my closest friends, and I can't imagine not knowing you guys. So I hope you continue the show for another 10 years, and hope you guys continue for another 100 years, and that you can keep telling your listeners every single week about all the Star Wars stuff, your thoughts, your opinions, and to remind your listeners to never land on Alderaan.
I look forward to podcasting when I'm 154 years old.
Yeah.
I'll have even more stories to tell.
And you know what? Patty Hammond has just tuned in, and we have to thank her and her husband for making those pixie dust jars. So thank you, Patty. Oh my gosh. You guys are amazing.
That's great that Justin still has his.
Yeah.
Do you have any?
I have it. Yeah, it's in my closet. Yeah. I have this place where I put all my buttons and all our things, and it's right in there. Yeah.
Speaking of buttons.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Ooh.
Here's.
Oh,
look at all our first buttons right there.
yeah.
Yeah, go
Oh,
ahead.
this is like original OG.
Oh,
This is the OG.
Yep.
Yeah, we got a few of these. I know several of you have all of these. Oh, look at that one. That was a good one.
Oh, yes.
Oh, here's another one of the original designs. We got that.
The Jedi
Friends of the
Tank.
Magic. That's what we did it for. Remember Friends of the Magic with Paul Berry?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Neverland on Alderaan. Then we had some Galaxy's Edge
Oh,
button.
that's right. Yep.
We had one for Celebration Orlando in
Mhm.
2019.
Yeah.
And yeah, and this one, Jeremy Stevenson made us this button right here.
Yes.
Go ahead and show him that.
Okay.
This is the button that we're taking our Disney cruise in 2017. And Jeremy Stevenson said, hey, I'll make you guys some buttons.
Yeah, that's amazing. Justin Smith just chimed in. That guy's voice was weird. Hopefully he doesn't podcast. Justin, you do podcast. And oh my gosh, your sister Lisa just super supported us. Thank you, Lisa. Oh my goodness. That's something you can do on YouTube, I guess. Just send in
You can
money.
do that?
Yeah. Lisa knows how. Oh my goodness. Thank you,
Oh,
Lisa.
thank
That's
you.
so sweet.
Thank you, Lisa.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did you hear your message we just played?
Yeah, I think she tuned in right after.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so
Oh,
we
wow.
played a bunch of messages, and let's play some more a little bit later on.
Yes, and we do want to say we did get we got dozens and dozens of messages. So we are going to take the next like 2 months of Skywalking episodes and play a few of your messages every time, because guess what? The 10-year anniversary goes for the whole year. And if Walt Disney World can have an 18-month 50-year celebration, then we can have at
A
least 2 months.
19-month,
Yeah.
a 19-month 10-year anniversary.
Yeah. Oh.
All right, hold
That's so
on.
sweet.
There is a retraction here from Jeremy
Oh.
Stevenson. Go ahead and read that.
I cannot take credit for those buttons. They are not my work. Oh. Okay.
Where did you get those, Jeremy?
All right.
I don't know. But hey, going back to Justin,
Yes.
listen to his podcast, Downtown Toontown. He's got a lot of great interviews with Disney Imagineers and Joanna Cassidy from Blade Runner and Roger Rabbit. He's a great friend and a great podcaster, and we're very, very happy to know him.
Yes.
All right, now here, in no particular order, are the most downloaded Skywalking Through Neverland episodes within the first 7 days of release.
So we're going to go through these. We're going to play little clips from them as we go along. So you guys, this is a little walk down memory lane of 10 years.
Let's kick things off with episode 299, titled George Lucas Celebration Zero Commentary with Dan Madsen. And this is from August 2020. Now, since we've gone over this George Lucas Q&A very recently in our YouTube shorts, in our Instagram reels, we're not going to run a clip on this one. But in this episode, we broke down the panels and we
at Celebration Zero.
The Celebration Zero George Lucas panel. We put them up on YouTube and Instagram in the little like 60-second
shorts.
Yeah, shorts, because George Lucas doesn't really he doesn't talk a lot.
No, he has very short answers.
Yeah, so we were able to fit a lot of them in 60 seconds. Go look at that. But it was great. Had to have Dan Madsen on this one because he was just taking over the Star Wars fan club as it was transitioning from the Star Wars fan club into the Lucasfilm fan club, which later became the Star Wars Insider.
Okay.
All right, now, this was also a precursor to our Fandom Through the Generation panel. We had a Force Fest.
Yes.
Which also led into our Fandom Through the Generation panel. We had at Celebration in 2022. Yes.
Getting all those years confused.
Which led into us asking him to write the foreword to Today in Star Wars History, Volume 2, right there, foreword by Dan Madsen. Dan has become a very good friend of the show. We're so lucky to talk with him and have him on the panel. He's a fantastic guy, and he wrote so much of what bridged me into Star Wars and Lucasfilm during the 90s.
Wow.
You get a book or two every year, some comics, and then some young Indiana Jones, and they were all put into the Insider, the Lucasfilm fan club by Dan.
Oh yeah.
So we could all that was our internet of the 90s.
Yeah, that was I remember I got those too. Yeah. Yeah. So that we had some really, and there was really fun stuff about Indiana Jones as well in those. I remember.
Tons,
and then getting ready for the prequels and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that episode was $2.99 in August of 2020.
Yeah.
Right?
So we haven't said it already. We're going to go through the top 10 most downloaded episodes.
Right.
10, which is very symbolic to 10-year anniversary.
Yes. All right, now we're going to head to an episode that happened in February of 2020. This is episode 276 with Emily Swallow, the Mandalorian Armorer.
Now, we got to thank Shamim Dana. Shamim is in the Sky Chat right now because he's the one that approached Emily at a convention and said, you've got to do Skywalking Through Neverland. You've got to do Skywalking Through Neverland.
Aww.
And she was on our show. And Shamim also got us a lot of these congratulatory messages we'll play in this episode and coming up in later episodes. I said, hey, Shamim, we're really busy putting this episode together. So can you please, as the bounty hunter, go and ask some of these Skywalkers and some of your celebrity friends to send us in messages, which he did. So thank you, Shamim. All right, now let's get back to episode 276, Emily Swallow, the Mandalorian Armorer.
Yes, and while we always appreciate being included in press roundtables with actors for various Star Wars series, those are always timed. You have like 10 minutes, 20 minutes with them. So we love it when we're able to have a conversation with someone on their own time. And so we got to do this with Emily Swallow, thanks to Shamim. And so we're going to listen to a few clips from this. And this first clip, I'm just going to plug Richard here because, Richard, you do a lot of work pre-production on the podcast. You're a great producer, and you write these amazing introductions that, you'll hear Emily's reaction to our introduction here. All right?
All right.
Mandalorian has taken Star Wars fandom by storm. It's unanimous that we all love Baby Yoda, but there's another mysterious character that we adore on the show.
She's the one to go to when you need a new Beskar steel outfit. She is the armorer. She is Emily Swallow. And we are so excited to have her here with us now on Skywalking Through Neverland. This is the way, Emily.
Oh my gosh, that's my favorite intro I've ever gotten, I think.
We aim to please.
Can I just have you guys introduce me everywhere for the rest of my life?
Absolutely.
I mean, that's not high maintenance or anything, is it?
No.
Not at all. Not at all. Now, how often do people say to you, this is the way?
They say it to me all the time, but I never get tired of hearing it because I've never had a catchphrase that has caught on so universally, and it's so much fun.
Aww.
And I believe you were the first one to say it.
Isn't that sweet?
Oh, I remember her saying that now too, and
yeah,
I started to sweat. I was like, oh, wow. Writing those intros are sometimes not easy.
No, and you do a great job with them. So props to you. And I think it's because of those intros and our nice conversations that, when we went to see the Mandalorian screening of Mando season 3,
mm-hmm.
and she was there,
mm-hmm.
She recognized us and was like, oh, yay.
Yeah, she turned around and said, she gave us a big hug.
Yeah.
And she was just so sweet.
Yeah. And Dad says, once again, it's all about the production values that are second to none.
Oh, thank you very much. Hey, here's a comment here by James Young. Congratulations, quite an accomplishment. And James Young is the author of many vintage books on Halloween and Ben Cooper and Power Records. James, we got to talk. All right, next. What do we have?
Next, so one of the cool things about this is Emily shared a whole bunch of interesting stories about on set, getting ready and in costume. She also shared stories of George Lucas on set because he happened to come to the set when she was there.
Mm-hmm.
And so she tells a little story about that. And above all, we're just so happy when we can make a connection with these talented people. So let's listen to a little bit of this.
Were you on set when George Lucas came to visit?
I was, yeah.
Oh, tell us about that.
Oh, it was incredible. And I stood there listening to him and watching him, and, he's telling these stories and had, probably 50 people around him just hanging on his every word. And what just was so profound to me was thinking back 43, I guess, years ago, when he made that first movie, and knowing how much resistance he came up against in trying to get that movie made, seeing how these stories that he created have stuck with us now for 4 decades, and how much passion people still have about Star Wars, and thinking about the technology that existed back then. And then when he came to set, and when I got to hear him talk, he was on the sound stage that had like the big green screen that they shot a lot of the stuff with his ship. And so just thinking about like the differences in technology and how we can tell the stories now. But even with the technology, people wouldn't still be interested in Star Wars if it weren't for the heart of those stories. And I think that that's really endured. And that's just such a testament to this dream that he had, and this little idea that he brought to life. It's just so profound to me.
All right, Emily. Well, thank you so much for joining us on Skywalking Through Neverland.
This is the way.
Nice.
Thank you. This was so much fun. It was really great to talk to you guys.
I love when people say that they had so much fun on the show.
Yes.
Because you can really hear it in their voices, especially with Emily Swallow. And we do a lot of work behind the scenes and listening to other interviews and what hasn't been asked yet, or what kind of follow-up questions are there. And she was just so much fun because The Mandalorian was on, I believe it was on the air at that moment, or it had that season had just wrapped up.
Yeah.
But that was a huge get.
Mm-hmm.
And she's so much fun.
Yeah.
All right, now let's get into the next episode, which is episode 100. 100 guests share 100 moments.
Woo!
And this is from November of 2015, a month before The Force Awakens. Now, we were thinking, what can we do for our 100th episode?
Yeah.
And I'm not sure where the idea came from. But
it was you.
Okay, I'll take credit for that one. 100, yes. How? And it must have been just a joke at first. How can we possibly get 100 guests?
Mm-hmm.
So we thought, wait a minute, where do guests mainly hang out? Conventions. There you go.
Yep.
So first, a lot of Skywalkers sent in their 100 with their favorite fandom moment.
Right.
So then we went to conventions and stuck microphones in everyone's faces.
Yeah, and I remember I was at some event, I think the Zootopia Disney event, and I asked a bunch of press people here, comment. So yeah, we got all kinds of these moments.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. And I think we just the convention, the Kamikaze convention was just closing up, and we needed 3 more.
Yes. Yeah.
We went to the janitor, the barista, the security guards. Tell us a moment, anything.
It was funny.
All right, now Dave Filoni recorded a promo for us for this episode.
Wow. And this was November of 2015.
Yes.
Is when this episode came out.
So let's go ahead and play this. This, I'm going to guess, is not loaded up just yet.
No.
So now let's go to Capture Scratch and play that, or is that something we need to do later on?
Well, if it's here. Yeah, I can add it. Where is it?
Okay, go to Capture Scratch and then go to promos.
Oh. Okay.
Hold on, everyone. We were so busy loading up all the stuff that some of them slipped through our fingers, but I want you guys to hear this. Okay, look for Skywalking Through Neverland promos.
Well, here, let's
hold
Let's
on.
go in order. Here,
on.
old show promos.
Hold on. Where do you want to? Okay, it's somewhere in here. Promos. There we go. Under P for promos. Okay, right here.
There it is.
There we go.
Okay. All right. Give us one moment.
And I'm not sure where we met Dave for this.
I'm wondering too, because I know we met him in December of 2020.
Yeah. Well, he knew us.
2015.
And we'll get to there soon enough. He knew us then.
Yeah.
It must have, I don't know, but let's go ahead and play it.
Yeah, I'm Dave Floating, and you're skywalking through Neverland. Thank you.
That was short and sweet.
Yes, it was.
Where was that from?
I don't know, but I said, hey, we're doing our 100th episode. Can you do like 100? Congratulations on the first 100 episodes or your 100th episode.
I'm guessing it was from Star Wars Celebration because 2015, that we would have seen him in 2015, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Hold on. Glenn Stein, he remembers. He submitted a moment. My moment was Idina Menzel singing Let It Go with Taylor Swift.
That's amazing.
Which happened just 2 weeks before the 100th episode.
Wow.
Glenn, that is quite a memory.
Also, we want to say hi, Vincent. Thank you for watching. Happy anniversary, guys, he says.
Well, thank you, thank you. Now, this 100th episode we dedicated to Daniel Fleetwood, whose last wish was to see The Force Awakens before he passed away. Let's go ahead and play that clip.
This is it, our episode 100 of Skywalking Through Neverland.
Yeah, I'm Dave Floating, and you're skywalking through Neverland. Thank you.
Before we begin, we just want to dedicate this show to Daniel Fleetwood, who just passed away on Tuesday, November 10th, after his battle with cancer. He was the man whose last wish was to see The Force Awakens before he became one with the Force. So this show is dedicated to you, Daniel, and I'm so happy that Disney and Lucasfilm and J.J. Abrams granted him his wish after the world and Mark Hamill and John Boyega all rallied behind the social media movement to get him to see the film. Farewell, Daniel, and may the Force be with you. Now, before we begin our really, really big show, everybody please say hello to my sweetie wife, Sarah, who is 100 episodes years old.
That's me.
So as you can hear, I measure Sarah's age by episodes done or how many classic Marvel Star Wars comics until she was born. That's how I remember your birthday and your age and your social security number.
Wow. I love it, I guess.
So that was a really fun episode. Go back and listen to that one. Each clip is like anywhere from 10 seconds, as you'll hear from Dave Filoni, to like a minute and a half.
100 guests. That's a fun one. All right. Well, my next episode is episode 261. This is Halloween Coast to Coast from October of 2019. Now, we recorded this episode right after attending both the Oogie Boogie Bash at DCA over here and Mickey's Halloween party at Walt Disney World within the span of less than 48 hours from each other. And we had Skywalker meetups at both events. I know some of you watching right now were at those or one or the other of those. And we compared and contrast these two parties on this episode. So the clip we're going to hear is Richard, you kind of summing everything up.
Yeah. So, Richard, overall, Oogie Boogie Bash or Mickey's Not So Scary?
You know what? I hate doing this because there are so many fun elements to both. But
well, I think
is it? I think the humidity at Mickey's Not So Scary party in Orlando, it's like this big dark glove that wraps around you, and you just.
It doesn't ruin the experience, but it doesn't
enhance the Halloween feel and environment.
Okay.
Just because you're sweating the whole time.
Right.
And it's just it weighs on you. It's sweat is heavy.
Yeah.
But you know what? I can't let that dampen my time. And you know what? I would say both. You know what? I'm sorry. I'm going to go right in the middle. Like I said before, it's right in the middle. Both.
Yeah.
Both were equally as fun.
Okay.
Except for the humidity.
Yeah.
But the most fun aspect of both was visiting with all of our Skywalkers.
Yes, absolutely.
2 Skywalker meetups on both coasts. Oh my goodness.
That was really
so much
cool.
fun.
And we'll need to keep doing this next year. At least here at Disneyland. I don't know if we'll be able to take trips to Walt Disney World every September, but yeah, this was super fun.
So once again, Skywalkers, when you go or if you've gone, let us know what your favorite parts of both Halloween parties are.
Aww. It was the Skywalkers though. Like that, at having, spending the evening with all of you guys was just so much fun.
That was an unfair question. I wasn't prepared for that one.
No. Yeah, you took the easy answer out. Yeah.
Yes, but right down the middle. There you go. But as much fun as it was meeting with all the Skywalkers, I remember also that humidity.
And I think we were dressed as
Sally and Jack Skellington.
And I did wear the wig, which that's big.
Yeah.
Oh, Chica Fence agreeing with you. But they had joined us,
yeah.
Very true about the humidity.
Yeah, it was really fun that night. Just it didn't matter if there was like 1,000,000,000% humidity. We were there with all the Skywalkers. We don't see all that often.
And I don't remember the humidity, so yeah.
I think we had gone to the Disneyland, Mickey's. What was it, the Oogie Boogie at that
Oogie
time?
Boogie Bash.
Okay, Oogie Boogie. Went home, got like 20 minutes of sleep, got on a plane, flew all the way across the country. Go to that Halloween party.
Yeah,
that was a blast. It's almost like when we had done both Galaxy's Edge on the same day.
Yep, absolutely.
We were in Florida. We got back to Los Angeles with like 2 hours to spare. So we told our friend Dave, drive us to Disneyland right now, quick, step on it. All right, get us there just so we can say we've been to both Galaxy's Edge in one day.
And we managed to make the last like 3 hours of the night.
Yeah.
At Disneyland, so that was really cool.
We landed at 10 p.m. So I think we got there with like an hour.
We had a good solid 2 hours.
Okay, yeah, because when Disneyland closes, they don't kick everyone out.
Yeah.
So if you're in the shop with holding your credit card, they'll keep you there. So maybe you're right. Maybe we were there for 3 hours.
We were. I remember clearly. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Welcome, George. I love all everyone tuning in. This is so exciting.
Yeah. Oh, wait, going back to the coast to coast, we had made videos of both of those parties.
Yes. Yeah, those are on our YouTube channel. You can definitely see those. And also Chica Fent brings up that we ruled at Monsters Inc. Laugh Factory. Yes. And in fact, you'll have to go back to listen to that episode or watch the YouTube videos to see that clip, because it didn't translate well in listening form just now to play a clip of that. Because I did look at that section of the podcast episode for that clip, but it's much better in video form.
Yeah.
So go check it out on our YouTube channel. So fun.
Lots of great times.
And thank you, Wendy. Wendy says happy anniversary to you both. Oh, thank you.
Yay. And George Foss up there says hello.
Oh, hi, George.
Hello there. All right, let's move on to the next episode, and that is 236, Bryce Eller.
Woo!
Mic drop right there, Bryce Eller. Now, this was another guest that Shamim Dana, our bounty hunter for Skywalking Through Neverland, found for us, and this is the gentleman that played Darth Vader in all of the TV appearances, Donnie and Marie, the Oscars. He put his footprints in the Grauman's Chinese Theater. In this, we recorded. We went over to his house on my 50th birthday.
Yep.
If you'd ever told me when I was a kid that the poster you have on the wall, the man inside, is someone you're going to go visit on your 50th birthday and get all these stories that are nowhere else to be found. Because at this point, I didn't think anyone knew of his whereabouts. I looked and I searched. I asked Shamim. He said, "Hold on one second. Okay, I'm back. Bryce wants to talk to you." What? Yeah, so we went up to his place and had a fantastic time. And look at this. You want to see something?
I do.
Look at this. This is Bryce Eller's Darth Vader autograph. This is what I got at Bradley's department store back in 1978. And I took this over to him, and he He's like, who is this person in my living room that has got all this stuff that's 40 years old that has my signature on it?
That's amazing.
Yeah,
that
and
you kept
he had so many amazing stories that once again had never been told before. So we were there for how many hours?
3 hours.
So we had to break it up in 2 episodes. But this episode is 236. All right. Now let's play a clip where I read him an entry from my 3rd grade journal over here. Okay. This is when I went to go see him at Bradley's department store.
Richard, do you want to
Yeah.
tell about your experience? So, yeah,
Okay,
Richard's old
okay.
enough. Well, go ahead.
So, one of my highlights.
He's got a story for you.
One of my highlights of seeing you as Darth Vader came on May 11th, 1978.
Okay.
And you know how I know that?
You've got an autograph.
Here is my 3rd grade journal.
I love it.
So my 3rd grade teacher, Mrs. Patterson, always made everyone write everything down. And I'm so thankful that she did. But she hated the fact that all of my stories had to do with Star Wars, but yet still encouraged us all to write. And so this is what I wrote on May the 12th, 1978. Now this is just more like a stream of consciousness. Yesterday, my mother and Lisa and Sean and I saw Darth Vader. He gave out free Darth Vader movie stills. There was new Star Wars toys. He wrote his name on the movie stills. Darth Vader had guards all around him. He had the real Darth Vader costume. I got 3 movie stills. First, we were looking in the mall, then we saw the sign. They had a new Star Wars necklace. It was a stormtrooper and a new Star Wars shoes. Darth Vader stood on the stage. Then we went to the bookstore. They had new Star Wars stuff. They had an R2-D2 model and a C-3PO model and a TIE Vader model and an X-Wing model. The end. So which means
that's great.
I saw you on May 11th, 1978.
Too bad it wasn't May the 4th.
Oh my goodness. And I recall looking up there and you looked right back at me. Because I walked by the stage and this woman handed me the movie still with your autograph on it. And I yelled, "Hi, Darth Vader." And you turned this big giant helmet and you pointed at me.
That's amazing.
Oh,
wow.
So can you hear my excitement in my voice?
Absolutely. I can. John Zancanaro, seeing the actual notebook is great. So yes, if you're watching live on the YouTube channel or if you listen back later on the YouTube, you'll see that.
And you remember, you also recorded this. You got out your iPhone.
Yes.
And you recorded this video of me reading Bryce Eller this story.
And we put it out to the Skywalking Force.
Yes.
Yeah. So you can see that video. Yeah.
That I still to this moment, and I just can't believe how that we got Mr. Bryce Eller, and I can say we've become friends.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We've gone to the Magic Castle together, you and I, and Bryce and Craig Miller, and he recorded Darth Vader's lines for Celebration Chicago.
Okay.
We had a little skit planned out where Secret Squirrel would take our recorder, and then Darth Vader comes in, and we had pre-recorded Darth Vader's audio, and it was Bryce Eller had recorded the audio. Once again, my whole world was coming full circle. Here was this man I'd idolized. I thought it was David Prowse in the suit, but going back now, I think I had more relation with Bryce Eller as Darth Vader than I did David Prowse.
I think so too.
Because at that point, David Prowse was in one movie.
Oh.
And that was it.
Oh, there you go.
But Bryce was everywhere, including that big poster that everyone had. And our computer's kind of set.
We can't
right over here
Yeah.
is the big Darth Vader standee that he autographed that I got when I was like 8 years old. We did that in his kitchen where we walked in and you said, "Hey, I know this cabinetry. You got this from IKEA, didn't you?" And you two were talking about kitchens for the next hour.
Because we just remodeled both our kitchens. So yeah, that was really fun. Oh, but speaking of some congratulatory messages.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you know what? this is a good time to roll in one from Shamim. Shamim, are you still in the Sky chat? Because we are going to roll in. Oh, before we roll in. Oh, okay. I'm just too excited right now. I'm just too excited right now. Let's roll in Bryce Eller's. His congratulatory message.
Here we go.
Hi, this is Bryce Eller. I was Lucasfilm's Darth Vader in numerous TV and personal appearances, and you may even have stepped in my footprints at Hollywood's famous Chinese theater. I want to congratulate Skywalking Through Neverland for 10 years of podcasting and bringing you, the fans, the behind-the-scenes Star Wars information you want to know.
Oh, so once again, this guy was my all back in the 70s, and here he is congratulating us on our Star Wars show, a Star Wars podcast for going 10 years, and it's coming from a man I idolized. As you can tell, I got very, very starstruck. All right, now, you know what? So speaking of Shamim, should we roll in his congratulatory video message that he sent in?
I don't know. Let's see if we can.
Okay. If we can't, we can roll it in a little bit later.
Because I'm not sure that was on the...
Oh, it was. You said you had put it in.
It's a video?
Yeah.
All right, sorry guys.
Give us 1 second here. Give us 1 second.
I had everything numbered, so
Shamim.
Okay.
All right. At the last second, we kept adding in more and more clips.
No, we can't add it.
Because
your browser, the browser doesn't work with that. All right, so we can't add that in right now, unfortunately. Like I don't know. It worked on my browser. It's not working on your computer, so that's not working. Okay, so.
All right, so we'll during the edited show, we're gonna roll in Shamim's clip, and we'll roll out of it. So once again, thank you, Shamim, for finding us Bryce Eller and for sending in your message.
Yay.
All right, next up, what do we have?
Next up, okay, so your white whale was Bryce Eller.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I want to say, like, anything having to do with Tinkerbell is amazing. And so Margaret Carey is one of our top listened to episodes. And this is all the way back, episode 15 in February of 2014. And this is Tinkerbell Talks, Margaret Carey, parts 1 and part 2.
Okay, before we roll in the clips, do you want to tell everyone how we got her? How we got her?
Of course I do. So first of all, I just love talking with someone who has met Walt Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Like that connection, that's harder to find nowadays. But I will never forget that meeting. I believe it was WonderCon, I want to say. And Richard, you were wearing this shirt.
I was wearing this shirt right here.
Skywalking Through Neverland. Margaret Carey, wait, stay up there. Margaret Carey is about this height in relation to Richard.
More like that.
Yeah. And so basically she was talking to you,
mm-hmm.
and then she went like this to Richard. What's this? What's this? And it says Neverland. And she played the reference model. She played the reference model for Tinkerbell in Disney's Peter Pan all the way back in 1959. She was 18 years old when she did that. So basically through this t-shirt is how Margaret Carey invited us to come to her where she used to work at a studio, and we got to interview her for like 2 hours.
Yeah, it was a radio station in downtown LA, and she's Margaret Carey. So when she busts open the door and say, "Hey, we're going to use Studio B to record in," no one says anything.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, and then we went out afterward and had what was that kind of dessert? Oh, it was very
flan.
No, it was a very 50s dessert with rice pudding.
Oh, okay.
Yes. It was.
Yeah, the little diner next door. Yeah. She said, "Oh, let me take you to for some rice pudding."
It was amazing.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So here I want to share this clip This is where she describes her first day as reference model for Tinkerbell and what Mark Davis, the animator, requested that she do. Oh, that's right. Ooh, it's a video, so I can hopefully share that. Uh-oh.
They asked me to do was to do a pantomime of dropping down on the big looking glass or the mirror that was on Wendy's dresser and see herself in the reflection and then take a look at herself and be pleased and then be unhappy at the size of her hips. Yes. And so I said, sure. So that's what I did. But I must say, if any of you are watching Peter Pan, and you'd better be, because I'll check up on you. Anyway, you will notice that she is not preening. I played her as if she was seeing herself for the first time. I figured, why would they have a mirror in Neverland? So that's what she's doing, and she's almost saying out loud, "Oh, I'm cute. Oh, look at those wings. Oh, isn't that? Oh my!" And then get upset about her hips being too large as far as she's concerned.
Surely is a girl.
So when we actually got on the soundstage, and I had my hair done up by the hairdresser before I came, didn't have to wear any makeup, and came over to this set. And it was a set. They had props and things there. The first time that I stepped out in front, I said something like, "Mr. Davis, do you want her to be ditzy like Betty Boo? Or do you want her to be like the queen of the fairies?" And he said, "Margaret, we want her to be you."
Oh.
And I said, "Golly gee, I think I can do that." And that is my personality. They had the two dimensions, the line drawing, the width and the height, and I gave the third dimension. And that's the way I try to explain it.
Isn't that sweet?
That was another one of those, oh my goodness. I know when you're talking to someone on the show, in an interview, you're supposed to be listening.
Mm-hmm.
But my mind was just going, oh my God, this is Tinkerbell. She's right here. And even people who were walking by the studio was like, oh, there she is. And you had presented her with a big set of wings.
Yes, that's right. From my wing maker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, who made my Jedi Tink wings.
And then we asked her to be our pod mother.
Yeah.
She was so happy with
our
that.
Our fairy pod mother.
And then she came back and we reviewed some of the animated Tinkerbell films.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, those are so beautiful, those films. Also, she came on Step in Time to go through the original 1960s The Parent Trap film. And recently, was it 2020 or 2021, a Valentine's episode where she describes her new marriage at 91 years old.
I think that was like pre-pandemic, so it would have been 2020.
Yeah, it was right around then.
A new bride at 91.
Yeah. Margaret Carey.
You know
she can do anything.
Exactly. You know what? Very inspirational. You're never too old to do anything, even get married.
Yes.
And then we went back to do another. Then she did Ask Tink segments for us.
Yes.
Which was like a Ask Ann Landers kind of a thing where people write in, ask her for her advice or ask her questions. We did a great many of those. And on one of those recordings, it was her birthday.
Mm.
And we had one of our friends dress up as Captain Hook and do a telegram for Margaret Carey.
That's right. I remember. Oh my God, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, I haven't thought about that in a while. So we must have video of that somewhere.
Oh, I'm sure we do. Wow, I forgot all about that, but you're right. We've got that somewhere.
Yeah, we're recording. Then she stops, looks outside the window, and said, "Captain Hook just walked by." It's like, Margaret, what are you talking about? What do you mean, Captain Hook? Wait, there he goes again. And then finally comes in, does his big presentation. Oh, she was so happy. Oh, how do you not love Margaret Carey?
I love it.
All right, let's move on to the next episode.
All right.
And this is episode 170, Gary Kurtz. Once again,
Wow.
dropped the mic. And he came on for the 40th anniversary of Star Wars. This came out May 25th, 2017, the 40th anniversary of Star Wars. And we have Gary Kurtz, the producer. He produced Star Wars and The Empire Strikes Back, and he has never been on another Star Wars podcast.
No.
This was just amazing, and never ever did I have this on our bingo card that we'd be getting Mr. Gary Kurtz for this show, especially for the big 40th anniversary. Now, big thanks to Craig Miller, who's been on the show several times, and he did publicity for The Empire Strikes Back, and he arranged this since, once again, Gary Kurtz has never done Star Wars podcasts, and we had just reached out to Gary and said, hey, want to come on our show? We wouldn't have gotten an answer. So it was Craig Miller who reached out to Gary Kurtz, because the two of them were like really good friends. They were working on different films up until Gary had passed away just like 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad we got him when we did. So let's run this clip that includes a promo, and then this is our reaction after we had all hung up.
This is Gary Kurtz, the producer of Star Wars and The Empire Strikes Back. I'm celebrating the 40th anniversary of the original Star Wars on Skywalking Through Neverland.
Perfect.
Nice.
Oh,
Love it.
better than Harrison Ford could have done. Well, all right, Mr. Kurtz. Well, I wanted to thank you very much. This has been a 40-year dream talking to you, and I really appreciate you coming on the show.
All right, thank you.
Thank
All right,
you.
take care now.
You have a great
All
day.
right,
bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, phew.
Oh my God. Yeah, that was nerve-wracking that day.
It was very nerve-wracking because he was 8 hours ahead.
He was in England as
Yeah.
well. And a lot of times people in England, we always get off either 8 hours or 7 hours, and it's always confusing and we never know. And like that far away, you never know. Like his internet was weird at some points.
Yeah, and this was still
it
on
got wonky.
Skype. Remember Skype?
Yeah, so we couldn't see each other, which kind of was sad. But
Yeah, it was a very poor connection.
yeah, oh my gosh.
And that at the beginning he said, "Oh, do you want to do this another time?" It's like, no.
We're here.
Please, let's do this right now.
Yeah, and it worked out. It worked out. We had a very good conversation. I mean, listen to the total episode 170
Mhm.
to hear the whole thing. But wow.
We've all heard so many behind the scenes stories on Star Wars, but nothing stacks up to hearing a story from someone who was actually there.
Right.
And he was, and oh my goodness, once again, this was just an incredible thing. We had met Gary Kurtz at a couple of celebrations. He was there.
Oh,
remember, Gary is a very soft speaker. Okay. And he was in this hyperspace lounge that the
Yeah.
Star Wars fan club was running, and he was talking to a lot of people at 2:00. Come meet Gary Kurtz, and there were like 20 people thick to Gary Kurtz.
And so unless you were standing like right in front of him, you really couldn't hear what he was saying.
He was saying, so while I was making Star Wars, it was a very difficult time, and I remember this. And so when we asked a question, we really spoke up, which was hoping it would be a clue to maybe speak up, Mr. Kurtz. Speak up so we can hear you. If I'm yelling to you, can you like yell back? Okay, that was a very good question. So like, okay, so we'll talk to you in a couple of years on our podcast. What's a podcast? We'll know in a couple of years.
Yes.
All right, moving on. How many more do we have to go? 1, 2,
3.
Oh, okay, 3 more. 3 more.
3 more
shows to go.
So Gary Kurtz was a milestone moment, and I have to say that the Force Awakens world premiere was a milestone moment for us.
Because we thought if we're going to do a podcast, we just want to get into this.
Exactly. Yeah. So this is episode 104 called TFA World Premiere, Red Carpet, and After Party Experience from December 20th, 2015. Oh my gosh. And it just felt like everything we had done up until this point, podcasting wise. Now this was 2 years after we'd been podcasting, that had led up to this moment. So this episode has recordings of us on Hollywood Boulevard waiting 12 hours from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. in a freezing wind tunnel for the world premiere of The Force Awakens. Now, I'm going to play a clip from our spot on that day because, of course, we brought our recorders with us. Now, at this point in the clip, we had no idea if we were going to be allowed into the premiere. All we knew is that we were there for the red carpet to see celebrities enter. We weren't even on the red carpet even. We were like
red carpet adjacent,
12 feet away from the main red carpet. So even if we saw celebrities, we would never have any chance of like talking to them and stuff. But so here is clip number 11. I'm going to say that. But this is a clip that we're going to play from that wind tunnel.
Talking to Disney and Lucasfilm. Oh, and that's when your phone rings. Is that Disney or Lucasfilm? Okay, hold on. Obi-Shawn is taking a call. We think it might be Disney or it might be Lucasfilm. Let's listen in. Oh, he's giving us the thumbs up. All right, there's some news coming down the pike.
The Force is with him right now, literally.
All right, we were just given the most amazing news by Obi-Shawn Crosby. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. We're going to see The Force Awakens.
Not too loud.
Okay, we're going to see The Force Awakens. Okay, we're not going to tell anyone about this. We were just told by Obi-Shawn that we're all going to be let in, not just for the movie, but we're going to be let into the party.
The reception, yeah. Reception, yay.
Oh my goodness.
Wristbands. I'm going to take a picture of our wristbands because these are like gold today.
How? Has this sunken in yet? We're going to see it today.
This is a dream come true, let me tell you. Seriously. I'm just so mind blown by this experience. We all had our hopes like sunk to the ground, and all of a sudden, Obi-Shawn comes with this great and amazing news. I am so mind blown by this.
Like my hand won't stop shaking. It's better than we could have ever imagined.
Yeah, when we started Skywalking Through Neverland, we said we just want to be invited to the world premiere or a premiere of The Force Awakens, and now it all comes full circle. And a big shout out to Sean Crosby, who was like one of the greatest Star Wars ambassadors. He made this happen. He found people at Lucasfilm, his contacts, and at Disney, and said, "Hey, we got a lot of people out here. If you have some extra seats, and we know you have 3 theaters playing The Force Awakens, what do you say? Can we kick out some of the people you don't really need there and have us fans in there?"
Yeah, and I mean, yes, it's Sean Crosby.
Yes.
He also heads up every year, November 17th.
Oh, Life Day.
The Life Day at Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah, the big fan event.
Yeah.
So be there.
Yeah. And then John is saying, I forgot about my voice being lost. Yes, that whole week, I lost my voice because we were out in the cold. And I got bronchitis and I couldn't podcast. That's why that episode came out on December 20th. Because I couldn't podcast for the longest time, like a full week and a half. I couldn't speak.
Well, plus, we're doing a lot of work on our other work job where you're always talking and performing.
That's right.
Now, here we are. Now, a lot of people are thinking, wait a minute, Los Angeles, how cold could it get? Like maybe the high 80s? But no, right on Hollywood Boulevard, it was a wind tunnel.
The whole day.
Yeah, if you had a tauntaun, you'd be slicing him open and crawling inside.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, so then we not only got the chance to see the movie, got into the after party. The after party for The Force Awakens, where we met J.J. Abrams again. We met so many people. We got a lot of those Disney Infinity toys.
Yeah, oh my gosh. Oh, I love Disney Infinity. But also when we were waiting in line outside, Dave Filoni happened to be walking by and came over to us and recognized us because of our shirts. We're always wearing these shirts. And he said hello again. So it was very nice.
Not at a time when people really knew who he was.
Yeah, that's true. It was a little before. I mean, he had been doing Clone Wars for 4 years at this point.
Yeah.
But still.
And Rebels, but he had been doing maybe some conventions. But then again, we were all in that line, and we were with liningup.net, who were there for 2 weeks. we couldn't see straight.
Yes.
I could have been George Lucas standing there just handing out scripts for The Force Awakens, and we were just so blurry-eyed. So he came over to us.
Yeah.
And started talking to us.
It was great. So once again, that was episode 104. And also on this episode, we describe that premiere after party. And we also, after seeing The Force Awakens at the TCL Chinese Theater on opening night, we had a roundtable of Skywalkers. It's always about the fans, right? It's always about you guys. We go over the movie and our reaction to it for the first time. So, or for us, the third time, I think at that point, we had seen it several times. But yeah, that was it's a really fun episode.
Now, this is the same night where you almost got into a fight with Phil Coulson.
Yes, absolutely. Well, the premiere after party, yes. He cut
Now, Phil Coulson is Clark Gregg.
Clark Gregg, yes.
Okay, he plays Phil Coulson in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and in the Marvel movies.
Yeah, so I'm waiting in line to get some dessert, and he just cuts me right in line and gets dessert right before me. Like, he didn't wait in the line. He just cut me. I'm like, Phil Coulson, what's up?
Yeah, and I remember seeing that. I remember seeing Jennifer Grey standing a few feet away going, what did he just do? What did... She was embarrassed.
I couldn't say anything, though, because my voice was gone. But yeah, it was pretty funny.
We met Ray Park that night.
That's right, yeah.
Oh, so many different people.
Good stuff.
One of my greatest memories of being a Star Wars fan came from that night.
Yeah.
All right, now let's move on to episode 217, #Happy Beeps. And this is from June of 2018.
And what is this reminding? What time was this in Star Wars fandom?
This is when toxicity really hit its peak. And there, as far as I remember, there wasn't really any until now. The Last Jedi was very divisive, and that just brought out the worst in fans. And
then Solo came out, and
every fan, just when you talked about Star Wars, it was followed by some negative comments. And we got into the point where we're sick of this. We don't want to hear this. So let's just have a whole episode titled Happy Beeps, where we ask Skywalkers to send in clips of things that make them happy in fandom. So let's go ahead and play this clip here from episode 217.
And this is Jeremy Hunt.
Hey, Skywalker family. This is Jeremy Hunt, not surprisingly from the Hunt family. Why do I enjoy being part of the Star Wars fandom? Well, there are many things that I could say, but I started the message that way on purpose because I want to highlight what has been the best part of fandom for me, and that is the extended family of fans that I've come in contact with over the years, and specifically as it relates to Skywalking Through Neverland. There are people in the Skywalking community that I literally converse with every day of the week, and not just about Star Wars. We share life events, struggles, care for each other. I mean, hey, I know it all sounds gushy and corny, but I mean it. This is a group of people that is family to us, and just want to say thanks to Richard and Sarah for building and, more amazingly, maintaining a supremely positive and welcoming group of people. The Skywalking Through Neverland Facebook group is like a virtual living room where we can hang out, be ourselves, have fun, and I'm very grateful to have found it.
Oh, that almost made me cry.
Yeah, Jeremy Hunt and his family, I think, were the first Skywalkers that really crossed the bridge to becoming friends. We had gone to Florida a few times, and his family and us, we just became really good friends. They would come here to Disneyland. We'd all hang out.
Yeah.
And Jeremy helped us during Celebration Orlando 20 something or other. And because we lost our audio video guy. We were doing our stage show and we lost our person. I'm not sure what happened, but Jeremy stepped in and saved the day. He's like, okay, you know what? I'll man the audio video.
Amazing.
So yeah, big hugs to the Hunt family. Now let's play another clip from this episode from Martin Keeler, all about how his fandom helps others.
May the force be with you.
Hey, Richard and Sarah. It's Martin here from over in the UK. So what makes me happy in fandom? Well, you won't be surprised. The thing that makes me happiest is having so many friends now through the Star Wars community all around the world that it's more than just Star Wars for me now. It's popping around, visiting people, talking online, sorting each other out for things in different countries when we can't get hold of them in the country we want, and just the general community. And also sometimes when things aren't going so well, it's nice to have friends that understand. And yeah, it's just the general friendship, but we always get together around the Star Wars fandom, and it means we've always got something to talk about that's out of real life as well, which is really good to have. So there you go. That's what makes me happy. And and listening to Skywalking Through Neverland, of course.
That is so sweet.
He's a big teddy bear.
Yeah. Wow. These are so wow. I think I'm going to go listen to this episode after that and just have a wash of good love here. But we are going to play one more clip from that episode. And that is from Claire Henry.
Okay. What makes Claire happy about being in Star Wars fandom?
Hey, Richard and Sarah. It's Claire over here in a lovely sunny England. What makes me happy in fandom? All the clothing and merchandise that I can now wear. Her Universe, Pozu, Mustard Brand, Loungefly, Love and Madness. I love wearing them all. I especially love wearing them to work, where the boss doesn't even realise it's Star Wars. Yesterday I wore a Millennium Falcon top and she hadn't a clue. Take that win, thank you very much. And lastly, but by no means least, is the friendships that I have had from Star Wars over the last 40 years. From my best friend Andrew and I playing on the playground, him Han Solo, me Princess Leia, to now at celebrations where he's playing Han Solo and I'm playing Princess Leia. It's the best. And also the other thing is all my Skywalking Through Neverland friends that I've met. You guys mean a lot to me and you make fandom the best.
Aww.
I think a lot of girls, correct me if I'm wrong, got into fandom because of her universe.
Not necessarily fandom, but we're able to wear it, represent it in our clothing. And I think that was a big jumping off point for a lot of other companies to go, oh, people are buying this. Like, numbers sell, money sells. And traditionally women do buy more of the clothing of a whole family, so like, I think it's spanned from there.
So is Ashley Eckstein more synonymous with Ahsoka Tano or her universe?
Both. It's one and the same, at least for me. Yeah. That was a question who's the boss put to me on the Who's the Boss podcast. Yeah. I mean, not that exact question, but like what does Ahsoka mean to you? To me, Ahsoka can't be separated from Ashley and her universe and female fandom. Yeah.
The different sides of Ashley Eckstein.
Yeah, exactly.
One side is Ahsoka, other side is her universe. But I'm so glad that Claire had sent in that story about how she can represent her fandom with all these new companies.
Oh yeah.
What did she say? Pozu, which makes the shoes.
Right.
And believe me, I know Pozu. Believe me.
There's Rock Love Jewelry now. She didn't mention that, but yeah, and there's a bunch of, like, she has some English brands too that I don't necessarily buy from, but she does because they're over there. So yeah, it's all around the world, this female fandom represented.
So thank you to all the Skywalkers who had sent in a lot of happy beeps. So if you want to feel good about Star Wars fandom, once again, that is episode 217. All right. So we have one more to go.
One more to go. One more of these top 10 episodes for 10 years of Skywalking Through Neverland. So I am going to call out 221 and 222 episodes. This is Terry Hardin, who is a Disney Imagineer and the original Mother of Dragons. And this episode comes from August of 2018. This was another long conversation we had that we broke up into two parts. So part 2 was really interesting because we got into not only how she got her job at Imagineering, but also how she got the job as creating the dragon in La Teigneur du Dragon in Disneyland Paris. So the castle underneath has this dungeon with a dragon in it. And also, she has a bunch of stories of how like she's a huge Star Wars fan. And so she was one of the original lining up people to see Star Wars.
Oh, she preceded lining up.
Yes.
She was one of the first people to line up for The Empire Strikes Back in 1980.
Mhm.
And we talk all about that and how she was almost arrested for standing out in line. And Craig Miller came by and told the theater manager, don't go there. We will pull Empire from your theater if you call the police.
Right. All right, but before that, do we want to play this clip? And then okay. All right, so we're going to play a clip of how she did at her first day on the job at Imagineering.
Do an orientation where they take you through Disney Studios and then they take you through Imagineering and they talk about the films and you get to meet various heads of the place. It's lovely. It's absolutely lovely. And when I got to where I was going to first start, which is the Rockwork division, the first piece I worked on was Big Thunder Paris.
Mm-hmm.
And I was to carve the rocks for that. And a lot of sculptors said, well, that's a boring job. And I said, have you ever sculpted rocks?
Mm.
And they said, well, no. And I said, then shut up then. Because you don't know. You don't know. It's actually quite challenging to sculpt rocks for Disney and rocks in general because God is God and you cannot sculpt.
And you're not.
Rocks. Yeah, seriously. You cannot sculpt rocks like you sculpt anything else. You have to stop about halfway to your finishing point. And a lot of sculptors right now will be saying, what? But I don't know how else to tell you. This is what you have to do. You have to stop halfway through. And it was just fascinating once it clicks and you learn this. And I love learning things. Mm-hmm. So when I was sculpting Big Thunder and I realized this is what I had to do, it was joyful. But when I walked in, the supervisor ran, picked me up, twirled me around and said, finally, the foam queen is here.
Nice.
Boy, not only was she a Disney Imagineer, but she also worked on Ghostbusters.
Oh.
She did a lot of sculpting for Ghostbusters. She was one of the ghoul hands that reached out of the chair and grabbed Sigourney Weaver. That was one of
right.
Yeah, one of those arms was her. She goes all into that. She's had a an extremely productive career.
And as you heard, she's very personable to talk to and just full of stories. I mean, you have to go listen to those episodes to hear how she talked Tony Baxter into making her the Imagineer in charge of that dragon at Disneyland Paris. It's amazing.
Yeah. And I knew about her because she was one of the winners of a Bantha Tracks contest back in 1981.
Oh, wow.
Where she won this big Empire Strikes Back movie poster and she was pictured in Bantha Tracks. And I remember her from all the way back then. And even there was a little bit of a passage about Terry Hardin in Skywalking.
Oh my gosh.
So this is a name that's been rattling around my head for quite some time. Then one day it's like, wait a minute, this can't be the same Terry Hardin. There's no way.
That's amazing. Yeah, so that's fantastic couple of episodes right there.
Now, we didn't...
Oh, I just want to bring up this comment because it's a good comment. All right, now, before we get into our next segment, I want to bring up a comment from my mom talking about clothing. Can we use our new 10th anniversary logo here on the top right of your screen to offer a t-shirt on TeePublic? And that's a great idea, Mom. I really should do that. So sure thing. I'll look into that tomorrow.
Okay. We need a new t-shirt.
Yeah, we really do.
Now, I didn't meet Terry Hardin until a few months ago when I went to dinner with her at Shamim Dana's big dinner party. And he invited all these people. And I'm so glad that he invited Terry because we had seen her at Disneyland in passing. But by the time it's like, oh, hey, and lost in the crowd. So I finally met her at Shamim's party. And speaking of Shamim Dana, let's go ahead and bring the young man on. Hey, Shamim.
Hey, Richard and Sarah. First, I want to say it's been about 8 years since we've officially met. After we met February 2nd of 2019. After Hollywood show, you, me, Michael, Jeanette, and Tahir all went. My sister Sasha went to the pie place, and we did the Brady Bunch scene. And I just wanted to say, since I got into you guys right after you guys did the TPZ YouTube video, Star Wars fan film. That's where I discovered you guys, and then about in December 8th of 2018, I popped in Richard's DM and acted like I truly was wanting to see if he would sign some stuff for me, and that's how that started. I said and then that's how I got Bryce for you guys. I've been talking to Bryce since 2012, and I was seeing Richard's Facebook post for the late Charlie Lippincott looking for help with Bryce. And since I've been friends with Bryce, I first met him in person in January 22nd, 2015.
Wait a minute, is that how you had found me, because you had seen my posts, my comments, and Charlie Lippincott, he had this post about the Darth Vader poster.
Oh.
And people were wondering where was that taken, and when was that taken, and who was in the suit. And I wanted to find out more information about that. That's when I think Shamim had reached out and said, I'll find out some more information for you, and then disappeared for a while, then came back and said, okay, here's Bryce Eller.
Yep. And then Bryce and how I met Bryce is all because of his I found his signature on a Star Wars issue number 1 of the Star Wars Marvel magazine, which I paid $5 for at a comic show, and I wondered who signed it, and I did my own research and I found Bryce. And then I literally was talking to Bryce the night he was recording his recording. He said he will be seeing you both at the upcoming dinner celebration October 6th for you guys. And I've got some other special guests for you guys too coming. And I wanted to show this, what you guys gave me the night, which is the baseball you guys did for me from the commemorating that special occasion for you and Sarah, and Richard. And Bryce,
when you think of me, you think of sports.
Yeah, so Bryce actually asked me when he was about to sign the baseball, would you like me to sign as Mickey Mouse or Donald Duck or my name, or I just said sign as Darth Vader. He said okay, and then he put the date of your 50th birthday, Richard. It's right there, 50th.
Aw. 2019.
It's January 16th, 2019, on your 50th birthday, Richard. So, as of now, I recently spoke to Bryce right after he did the recording. He's so glad you liked it, which he said to you, Richard. And then, so, here we are, 10 years later. I've seen you, Richard. Oh, here's a good story for Richard. It's a little embarrassing, but you were there. Okay, so this was June 30th, right before the dinner party. Me, Richard, Margot, Scott, all were. Richard told me to go talk to Dennis Lawson. Wedge from.
I wanted to meet Dennis Lawson, who plays Wedge in the original Star Wars trilogy. He was signing autographs at this convention.
Yeah, and it's at the Hollywood show in Burbank. It took me and Margot to lock arms and walk you slowly, and then Scott actually took the footage of us doing the pointing to the Death Star. He has that footage. And poor Richard, Sarah, you should have seen him. Buckets of sweat all over the place. He said, yeah. So, and then I got you the photo with Dennis. And then that was the most interesting. I never seen Richard so nervous in his life talking to Dennis.
Well, okay, so here's Shamim walking around this room. Hey, Rich, Dennis Lawson wants to talk to you. It's like, no, what are you doing? Don't proceed it like that. No, he's right over here. He wants to talk to you, Richard. He wants to be on Skywalking Through Neverland. Oh, Shamim.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Richard,
you did get me to
I
speak
gave
with Dennis Lawson, and we've been exchanging some emails. So hopefully he'll be on an episode coming up.
Hopefully he'll be on one of these days, and then
Shamim, we are going to see you on October the 6th at your next big dinner party. Looking forward to it.
Yep.
Oh, and one more thing, Richard. Margaret Carey is going to be at the Hollywood show. She's going to be with doing like a special, same as Dennis, but she's going to be meeting fans again. And I just thought, Sarah, if you want to see her again, it's October 6th or the 7th. If you guys want to go and check her out.
Good to know.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
And thank you for coming on, Shamim.
All right.
We really have
Take care,
to go.
guys.
All right.
Talk to you soon, Richard.
Take care.
Bye.
Thank you, Shamim. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
There he is, the man, the myth, the legend. How he gets these people, I've got no idea.
No.
I don't want to know. Just, Shamim, you go do your thing and let me know when you've contacted this person.
Yeah.
But when he gets something, when he has something in mind, when he wants to do something, he does it. All right, now with that, let's play some more messages from Skywalkers.
Yeah, here is one from Joey Pittman.
One of the original Skywalkers.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Joey here. Really excited to finally be doing another Lego build. I'm not a huge Lego. I don't say not a huge Lego fan, but I don't do a whole lot of buildings. I've done a lot of minor stuff you've seen on like my TikTok and we put on YouTube, but like our Lego advent calendars. I did a little mini Boba Fett Slave 1, and the pod racer Anakin from episode 1. But I'm finally going to be doing something I've been waiting to do for the last couple years. I've really slacked on this. Work schedule's been nuts, but I got a little bit of a break right now. I got this for Christmas a couple years ago for my sister and my brother-in-law, but it is the Boba Fett Lego helmet. I'm finally going to get this going. So, like I said, I've been wanting to do it for years, but I've been a little, I don't say intimidated, but you know, some of these take a little bit of time. I'm not a skilled Lego builder, but I'll get this done.
Oh no.
The Boba Fett Lego helmet, and there will be a few more builds coming in the near future.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
Enjoy.
Oh my. Wow. That is awesome. All right. Well, thank you, Joey. That's an amazing build.
Yeah.
Lego build.
Joey, I would say, and your parents are some of the original Skywalkers. Donald Wicks was one of the original Skywalkers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Norman Peter Heitman.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, now let's move on to Kelly and Courtney Turkel.
Hey, Richard and Sarah. Hi, guys. It's Courtney and Kelly from the Neverland Clubhouse. And we're wishing you a happy 10 years of podcasting. It's amazing, guys. No one deserves a bigger and amazing congratulations than you guys. Mm-hmm. And you guys have definitely changed our lives. Not only with the podcast, but with your friendship and also having us be a part of the Skywalking Network. We are so happy to be part of it. So we want to thank you guys and keep doing what you're doing. Yeah, let's go another 10. Yeah, exactly. Right? Bye.
Bye.
Oh,
That is very sweet.
thank you, Kelly and Courtney Turkel. You know, if you're good friends of ours, sooner or later, we're going to turn you into podcasters. They were an instrumental force behind Force Fest. And since they did such a great job, we said, so do you want to extend this even further into doing a podcast of your own? And that was the birth of the Neverland Clubhouse.
All right, we have one more video to share.
And this is from the
happy 10th anniversary to the Skywalkers. Skywalking Through Neverland podcast has been going on for 10 solid years. Amazing. They I think were, pioneers. But definitely congratulations to Richard and Sarah again for 10 amazing years of great content.
Yep, and we're very happy having the Skywalking family as part of the Virtual Cantina family and vice versa. We've had our annual Life Day celebration with them, which has been absolutely a lot of fun.
Yeah. Too much makeup, Luke loves those.
Yes,
loves to make an appearance.
So we have that, and just congratulations to them.
Aw.
Well, thank you to the Virtual Cantina. I think we've partnered with them more than anyone else. They're a great, very, very productive group. Every 5 minutes, they get a new show going on.
Prolific group. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's great to partner with them on some of our our interviews with celebrities as well. So yeah.
And Spencer was just on the show a few weeks ago talking about his tour of 24. He's gonna take a big busload of people and take them to all these different places. So if you haven't heard that one yet, go back, because you're gonna definitely want to jump in on this deal that he has got going for this summer of 24.
All right, and you Skywalkers, we put out the word. We got dozens and dozens of your 10-year anniversary messages. So like we said at the beginning, we will be playing them on our next several episodes, probably for the next 2 months. But this means that you can still send yours in if you'd like to. We would love a video version, but if video intimidates you, you just want to record audio, that's fine too. But we love seeing video of you guys. It's so sweet. So what you can do is you can record on your phone, and then please email to share@skywalkingthrough-neverland.com. And that's just like it sounds, share, like you want to share with your friends. Sharing is caring. Share@skywalkingthrough-neverland.com. And we'd love to keep playing these messages throughout the year.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. So send them in.
Once again, next 19 months, we got to beat Disney. Disney and their celebration.
Yeah, so we'll probably play 3 an episode in our Skywalker shout outs. And so if you haven't heard yours yet and you sent in a message, never fear, we will be playing it.
All right, so we just played for you the top 10 most downloaded episodes within the first 7 days. But you know what? Let's wrap things up with an extra episode that has really stuck out to you, Sarah.
Some runner-ups.
Yeah.
Oh no, do I have to go first? Because I have 4.
All right, well,
do you have one?
I've got one. Yeah.
Okay, I'm still picking.
So once again, these are our episodes that just stick out in our minds. Not saying this is more special than any other episode, but I was gushing over Bryce Eller and meeting him, and this is someone I've been following, whether or not I knew it, because he played Darth Vader. Another fandom that is so huge to me is the Monkees. In fact, we just saw the Monkees a couple of days ago. Look at our YouTube, our Instagram, our Facebook for a lot of pictures of us in our monkey attire. But we got James Frawley. James Frawley was on our show. James Frawley really distinguished the look and feel and rhythm and tone of the Monkees back in 1966. Now, we've got a friend, Ken Mills, who runs the Zilch podcast. It's a big Monkees podcast, and James was on their show, and I said, hey, can you share the contact information? And we'd love to have him and talk about his time on the Muppet movie, which he directed.
Right.
He also appeared in the movie. He was the piano player in the bar where Kermit met Fozzie. And this guy, James Frawley, had really developed a sense of humor that I still use today in my shows that we do live shows. And if you were to see those shows and you knew who James Frawley and the Monkees were, it's like, we know where your inspiration came from. And we got James Frawley on the show, and I was able to ask him questions that had been percolating for 50 years. And now here he was. Now, this is one of those first episodes where we're doing Skype.
Yes.
And the Skype had gone out.
Okay.
It was a lot of technical difficulties. So, Sarah, you were running from room to room trying to do whatever you were doing.
Doing that technical stuff.
Yeah, and every once in a while you jump back and go, "Oh, really? Okay," and you run back and try to do
That's why I
hardwire the house.
That's why I don't remember what we talked about.
Yeah, Sarah's up on telephone poles, connecting wires,
Yeah.
digging ditches in front of the houses, looking for other phone cables, just so I could talk to James Frawley.
Mhm.
And the biggest thing I got out of this was that James Frawley developed that monkey's walk.
Nice.
You know, when they put the
Yeah.
legs over each other.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And so just talking to someone who developed me as a person, and here he was on our show, was just phenomenal. And then like a year or two later, he had passed away.
Mm.
And then Peter Tork of the Monkees had posted our show on his Instagram account saying,
That's
hey,
right.
if you guys want to really relive some of James Frawley's biggest moments, this podcast had him on their show, and he plugged our show. And because of that, Peter Tork became a Skywalker of the Week.
That's amazing.
So that's one of the shows that really sticks out, because I can't say enough. It's to have these people on our show that develops you as a person. How do you wrap your head around something like that?
That is...
It's very, very hard. So when we're talking to people on the air, we're like trying to keep it together.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Inside, it's like, oh my goodness, I don't want to listen to this back because I know I just can't focus on the conversation.
Yeah. Oh. All right. Well, I have a runner-up coming up. I want to bring up a comment here from Nick Werner. Hello there, and happy 10 years Skywalking Through Neverland. And Glenn's out. He's gonna go watch Ahsoka. All right, but
okay, it starts in 3 minutes.
2 minutes. 2 minutes. Okay, so I'm gonna choose. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna go back to episode 177, and that is Skywalking Through D23 Expo. Now, when we go to these expos, we're thinking of you, the fans. And so like we bring our recording devices, we do all kinds of recording.
Roundtables.
Sum
ups.
And like, it's just so cool to have this record of things that we've done. Like this particular D23 Expo, believe that was 2015. There's a whole Galaxy's Edge discussion. Michael Giacchino was inducted into the Rebel Legion. We have an interview with Chris Beatty, an Imagineer, who on Galaxy's Edge, which was not formed yet, but now Chris Beatty is like doing presentations at the Destination D23 and things. Like he's a big top Imagineer now. There was a Tangled the Series panel that we talked about with Mandy Moore and Zachary Levi and Jeremy Jordan. And also this Disney Legends ceremony had Mark Hamill and Stan Lee. And so we brought you recordings from all that. And it's just a testament to like just how we do stuff on the go like that. Like it's really cool. So
yeah, it's good that we have got our portable recording studio,
Yes.
so we can bring it wherever we go to, except for Disneyland.
Right.
Secret Squirrel is right there telling us not to.
So I'm just very proud of us.
So this goes
we're able to do
around
that.
to our very first question. Have we fulfilled our mission statement of really focusing more on the fans than anything else?
I think absolutely. Because we are fans, we have those roundtables that we do are very important. We get a fan's perspective of these big events. We don't just share clips from the events, but we have our perspective on them. And I think that's what people want to hear.
I think we carry enough fandom behind us where we can relate it to other things.
Oh, yeah.
Or talk about really how important this is to fandom and how we can really spread that out. What's really worth looking forward to, some things that okay, save your time on this. And since we're not an affiliated podcast, we can tell you when we don't like something.
Oh yeah, and then we have our own perspective on things, and movies and TV shows and events. Like you have your puppeteering perspective and your movie perspective. I have my music perspective. So it's really cool that we're able to do that.
Yeah, and many, many more conventions to come. There's more D23s in the future. Even though we can't make it to all the celebrations, we'll have other people who have been to those shows come on and tell everyone else about their experiences. So even if we can't make it, we still do whatever we can to
Bring it to you.
bring it to you and tell you about all the highlights and whatever we can. So a lot of comments we get are like, it was actually like being there, just listening to your roundtables.
Yeah.
Those comments bring a tear to my ear. I'm gonna say it right now.
Oh.
All right, so sorry, before we wrap up, tell
Yes.
everyone about the Skywalking Force after party one more time.
Yes, if you are part of the Skywalking Force, we are having a special Zoom after party tomorrow night, 6:30 p.m. So if you are part of the Skywalking Force, you are welcome to attend. That link will be at skywalkingforce.com. Also, we have I've made a special decal for you guys that should be in the mail. There are a few that I still need to create and send to you. So if you haven't gotten them yet, never fear, you are going to get them. And now is a great time to join the Skywalking Force. If you've been thinking about it, if you just want to support, that would be amazing. And we love all of you who are part of the Skywalking Force. So to get that link to the Zoom party or to see what you want to do to join the Skywalking Force, just head to skywalkingforce.com.
And for you in the Sky Chat, it's extra benefit for you because when people hear the show or see the show later on, we'll have already done the Skywalking Force party.
That's true.
It pays to watch.
Yes. All right. Well, that wraps up our 10th anniversary episode of
Skywalking Through Neverland. We want to thank everyone in the Sky Chat for weighing in with your comments. We want to thank Rob Dellinger for coming on the show and sharing his memories and thoughts about writing jingles for Skywalking Through Neverland. We want to thank Shamim Dana for coming on and sharing his embarrassing story about how I met Dennis Lawson and all the guests that he'd help us get throughout the last 10 years. So thank you to everyone who's also helped with the Skywalking Force, who liked our videos, who like everything of ours, bought our books, bought the Skywalking Through Neverland album. We have so much to thank. We have so much for you to thank for you. What? We have so much for you to thank. We want to thank you so much for everything that you do over and over again.
And another message from Mom, Norma Heitman. Congratulations again. 10 years of awesomeness. Aw. All right. Well, are you interested in our books today in Star Wars history? Autographed copies of that and Skywalking Through My Fandom, an interactive notebook, are available now from skywalkingthrough-neverland.com/book. And once again, you can support us through the Skywalking Force, our Patreon. We're doing a lot more with that lately, including having special parties, having special gifts, and also you have access to bonus content in the form of our Zoom discussions on the latest Disney Plus shows. So make sure you head to skywalkingforce.com.
And this week's Ahsoka conversation on Zoom will be on Thursday at 6:30 p.m.
Pacific. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the benefit for you who are downloading and watching the episode the day this comes out.
Yes.
All right. Now we want to thank our sponsor once again, Small World Vacations, for their support. Thinking of a trip to a Disney park, or you can fill out a get a quote form at smallworldvacations.com today. Their vacation planning service is free of charge, so check it out and tell them Skywalking Through Neverland sent you.
Now we are part of the Skywalking Network.
Skynet, where you can find other great shows like Talking Apes,
the Max Effects Podcast,
the Neverland Clubhouse,
Totally Tell Me Everything,
Star Warsologies,
and the YouTube shows Collectopolis and
Today in Star Wars History. Hey, let's bring up another message here in the Sky Chat. Hey, it's my old Talking Apes co-host. It's a Mr. Mark Rogashowitz, who congratulates us on 10 years.
Awesome.
Thank you, Mark, for popping in there.
Yay.
Now, if you guys want to get a hold of us on social media, very easy. For Twitter or Instagram, just look for @SkywalkingPod. It will pop right up.
Or X or Threads, all those things. We're Skywalking Pod. That's what I grab everywhere. Wherever there's social media, Look for Skywalking Pod.
Be sure to join us on our Facebook group. A lot of great discussions in our Facebook page. If you want to see our events coming up, we have some conventions coming up in the near future. Go there, look at our event page. You'll see all of the Zoom discussions and the convention appearances and every other meetup we're doing.
And we're also playing your messages. So you can send in some 10th anniversary messages to share at skywalkingthrough-neverland.com. And don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube, Skywalking Through Neverland.
Now, don't forget to stick around for bloopers and other fun bits that didn't make it into the show. And
always remember,
Neverland on Alderaan. And send in those messages.
Oh my gosh, 6:06.
We're 6 minutes in.
It's time for Ahsoka.
Don't look at social media.
No, don't do it.
And always remember, don't look at social media after a show like Ahsoka has started, because people are going to ruin it for you.
Okay. All right. Bye, everyone.
Thanks for joining.
Have
Thanks
fun.
for all your comments.
Yay.
Happy 10 years, everybody.